I seen shit that will turn you white. Hello, it's Dr. Jimmy once more here in my conservatory. It's been a long time since I've had a chat with you. Too long, way too long. Is that Lenny? Oh, there's Lenny. Yes, she came to see little Winston, who gave my opening for me. Here's Winston. Very nice fellow. Very nice indeed. Here's Lenny. Lovely kitty. Nice kitty. Oh, so today is a very significant day. It is Wednesday, August 28th. August 28th, 2019. It's significant for a number of reasons. We just heard that tropical storm Dorian. Don't give a storm such a wild name. Oh dear. Let's draw a picture of it, and maybe the picture will get older and older and develop into a hurricane while the storm remains a depression. Oh dear. No. It's hitting on the eastern side of Puerto Rico, which means it's not going through the Mona Passage. It's not hitting the Dominican Republic. It's not hitting those lovely mountains that would have torn it to bits before it gets here. So it might very well be here Sunday night, Monday afternoon, hitting Florida. There are three models I saw. One shows it, if this is Florida. One shows it going right across Orlando. Jesus. The other one, however, shows it going down here across Fort Lauderdale, down in this, missing us and going into the Gulf. One model shows it going up here and not even hitting the coast, just going out in the Atlantic. That was I don't know what they call it, G something. There are three different models. The one that shows it going here was the European model, which is often quite accurate. So I don't know what it's going to do. I just hope that it won't hit too hard here, because this room isn't the most waterproof room in the world. And a lot of my stuff is in here, and I have to move it all out again. Like I did a couple of times recently. I hate doing that. And also, I'd like to make some videos before the weekend is over. And, oh dear. And of course, for horror nights, it'll be a bit of a problem, because it's supposed to start 1 week after that. Yes, and they'll have to take that lovely thing they built in the middle of New York, which is very tall. They'll have to take that down so it doesn't get knocked over by the hurricane. Then can they get it back up in time? It took them a couple of weeks to get that thing up, and now they'd have to put it right back up right away. Maybe it wouldn't go back up at all, and that would mess up the whole scare zone. Ah! I just hate that. Oh, I hate it when hurricanes mess up the plans. Bad Dorian. Nothing to do but drink heavily. Oh, because it is August 28th, this is already on sale. Shipyard Pumpkinhead Ale, which I believe will be available at Halloween Horror Nights 29. In some of the bars that are being set up outside, you can already see what sort of beer will be there. Wonderful. I love pumpkin ale. It's that time of year. Yes, some people like pumpkin spice lattes. I do like those too, but I like pumpkin beer even better. This is like pumpkin spice latte for boys. Goody. Not to be sexist or anything. But the 28th means that we have now reached a landmark in our countdown to Horror Nights, which begins next week Friday. Oh, I love saying that. Next week Friday, September 6th, which means it is now 9 days to Horror Nights. Not 10, 9. 9 more days. We're down to single-digit countdown now. Oh, happy. 4 Horror Nights in Orlando. Horror Nights in Japan, of course, will start on the morning of Saturday, September 7th, next week Saturday. It's 10 days away. Horror Nights in Hollywood will start on Friday, the evening of Friday, the 13th of September. Ooh, pow, pow, pow. Yes, that would be, therefore, what is that? That would be 16 days from today, wouldn't it? And then the one in Singapore starts on the 27th. And now, as of today, it's less than a month. Yes, yesterday was 1 month for Singapore, but now it's something like 4 weeks and 2 days, 30 days. 30 days till the event. It's now less than a month till the last Horror Nights of the year. So all 4 Horror Nights will start in less than a month now. Oh, joy! So that's another significant thing about this day. Now, as I said, I've been away too long. As you know, I like to make reaction videos to the announcements when they are made. In previous years, I've gone back and looked. Many of those are made on the very same day as the announcement, or the following day, or just a couple days later. But I got way behind now, and so I have to make my reaction videos to things that happened not 1 week, not 2 weeks, not 3 weeks, not 4 weeks, not 5 weeks, but 6 weeks ago! Because the announcement I'm going to talk about in this video was made 42 days ago. Wednesday, exactly 6 weeks ago. Wednesday, July 17th. And that's when the announcement was made. And so everybody already knows all about it, of course. Silly Jimmy, why did it take me so long? I don't know. But I have to get the reaction videos done before the event starts, because then what's the point? It's already happening. And of course I have to make cocktail videos for the houses that have been announced, and you know, what's the point of I have to make the reaction before I make the cocktail videos. So if I'm going to do a cocktail video for this house, I better do the reaction video first, and that's kind of what's happening right now. Because I probably won't have time to do more than one of these reaction videos tonight. And so, therefore, because it's already past 6 o'clock, there'll be time for a cocktail video after this, even though I'm already having a beer. And then we can move on and hopefully do more tomorrow, with a cocktail video coming in the evening, of course. So, as you might guess from the title that's up here posted, as well as the appearance of Winston Zeddemore earlier, this one is about the announcement made Wednesday, the 17th of July, 42 days ago, when the 6th haunted house for Orlando and the 5th haunted maze, if you count The Walking Dead, and I guess you do now, whatever, were both announced simultaneously, as, of course, they were both based on the same film. What the hell was that? I may have to... Who am I going to call for that? There's spooks in here. It's just Lenny. Oh, there she goes. She's being frisky. Crazy cat. Oh. She's chasing a goat. I ain't afraid of no goats. Called the Ghostbusters. Meh. Anyway, goat butter is the joke I've seen. You buy goat butter and it says, as it says, who you gonna call? And goat butter. They've actually marketed some goat's butter that way. Goat's butter is actually what it says. But of course, it was based on Ghostbusters. That's the classic American horror comedy that had debuted in cinemas in the summer of 1984. 35 years ago, celebrating now its 35th anniversary, and I saw the movie in cinemas in Waikiki in Hawaii as a boy when I was, well, not really, well, I guess 21 as a boy. It can be. I was 21 years old, and I saw it in the cinemas at least 4 times in the first run, going back to the theatre to see it again and again, because that was so funny, and there was more stuff I might have missed, catch little details. I really loved the movie. And of course, since then, I've seen it many, many times on various formats, from VHS. Remember that? If you do, you're out like me. VHS, DVD, Blu-rays, and even, and of course, streaming. Now, you can stream it anywhere you want, even on your phone. But why do you want to look at a big movie on a little tiny screen? I don't understand that. I'd rather, if I'm going to stream it, I'll stream it on my big widescreen television in high definition. Oh, so I've seen this movie countless times. I don't know how many times. Dozens of times. And I like it very much. It's quite one of my favorites. So I've always wanted a Ghostbusters haunted house. I've always been very eager for it. I've even made jokes about it in some April Fool's gags a few years ago, thinking they might never do that. It's, you know, they think it's funny, not scary, but this has a couple of moments, and they're going to make it wonderful, I'm sure. And sometimes houses are funny. That's part of the mixed bag of horror nights. Doesn't all have to be terrifying every single moment. You know, you need something to get a laugh now that they don't do Bill and Ted anymore. So, Ghostbusters has a tradition at Orlando too. When the park first opened in 1990, there was the fire station with the Ghostbusters logo and Ecto-1 right out in front of it. I think they started doing some street performances before they opened the attraction the following year, 1991. I don't know, I think so, but I didn't get to Florida until 1991, and by the time I got here, the attraction was open. The attraction was located where later they closed it and put in the Twister attraction, the same space, and now it's Jimmy Fallon's Tonight Show Race Through New York. Oh, well, Twister was good. I liked Twister better, and I liked Ghostbusters best. But oh well, can't keep, you know, it's like people are complaining about what they're doing to Epcot, you know, things change. Oh. So, and the Ghostbusters were often seen in the streets in various performances over there, even fighting Beetlejuice on the streets. There was such a show presented at Horror Nights, rather Fright Nights in 1991, and I think the Ghostbusters made appearances in some of the earlier performances of Beetlejuice's Graveyard Tours over by the Bates Motel that year, but the later shows featured the Blues Brothers. I didn't see the earlier performance. I saw a later performance later in the evening after midnight. So, but I've heard that the Ghostbusters showed up. So they were incorporated into the event somehow at Fright Nights in 91. At least, but now at last they're back in a house after all these years. Isn't that delightful? I've been waiting for them. So, let me take a look. First of all, here on my lovely iPad, for a visual aid, is the actual Ghostbusters image. Let's see. Here it is. This is the artwork for the house, which looks like it was adapted from a video game image recently. The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, the Terror Dogs, and the Ghostbusters trying to blast him over here. This is the... And, of course, it's not just in Orlando. That's the image for Orlando. These are the same artwork for the Maze in Hollywood. It's coming both. All right, and also have a little bit of a description here, which I shall read to you from the Universal Orlando Resort Close-Up blog, which is also the same copy they put on the website for the announcement for the main Horror Nights website. So here's what it says. For the first time ever, Sony Pictures Ghostbusters is coming to Universal Orlando's Halloween Horror Nights in a new haunted house. They have been at the event before when it was Fright Nights in 1991, but they weren't in a house. That's what they mean. Celebrating its 35th anniversary, You'll jump through the movie screen of the original 1984 film and walk through some of your favorite scenes like the Temple of Gozer and more. In this haunted house, you'll be transported to the streets of New York as the rift between worlds opens, releasing ghoulish spirits, hideous spectres, and ectoplasm-dripping phantasms in every shape and size. Come face to face with a voracious Slimer, the all-powerful Gozer the Gozerian, Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and more. Peter, Ray, Egon, and Winston will have to save the day as these paranormal creatures materialize in unexpected places. But will their proton packs be enough? This year, okay, the rest is the usual stuff about the events, so I shall let that go. So that was how they described the house for you. And I'm highly anticipating it. Now, when they announced this back on September, that would be the future. No, when they announced this house on July 17th, they didn't say where it was going to be. There had been rumors about sound stages. At first, they were saying Soundstage 25 was the rumor for Ghostbusters, but then it turned out that's not where it's going. That's where Stranger Things is going this year. Yes, because we now know a map came out the other week. A guide map got leaked, and so we saw where all the locations are, confirming a lot of the rumors. There was one other thing on that map which excites me. They're going to have a food location in the Gramercy Park area that's going to be called the Starcourt Mall Food Court. I don't think it'll be the actual mall. I think it's those tents they usually use, but they're going to theme it to Stranger Things a bit. And oh, I hope they have. I hope they have Scoops Ahoy in some way. So I could call Steve a doofus. A dingus. Yes, that's the word. Dingus. Yes. I'll go in there and channel my inner Erica. You can't have America without Erica. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes. And then, what is it? That butterscotch. Something. SS butterscotch. Yes. Sounds delicious. But we know whether all the houses are, and so we now have confirmed the previously announced houses. The first 5 houses that I've covered before in reaction videos. Of course, all the houses have already been announced now, but the first 5 ones, which were Stranger Things, is in Soundstage 25. Depths of Fear and Nightingale's Blood Pit are in the 2 Sprung Tents 1 and 2. I'm not sure which is 1, which is 2, but it looks like Nightingale's might be in 1 and Depths of Fear in Tent 2. Not sure. That's my guess from looking at the queue locations. They showed where the queue areas begin for each of these on the guide map, and you can sort of figure out where the house is by that. All right. And let's see, those were 3. The other 2 that had already been announced, let's see, there was Yeti, Terror of the Yukon, is going to be in Soundstage 24, sharing it with another haunted house. Okay, so we know that. And what was the 5th house that was announced? Oh, Universal Monsters is going to be in the new Parade Building, Building 108. So we all knew about that. So that's all been confirmed about those. And this house, Ghostbusters, will be in Soundstage 22. That is where Stranger Things was located last year. Which means that when you come into the park, it's going to be the very first haunted house on your left. If you go straight up towards New York, like most people do, rather than go off on Hollywood Boulevard, you go straight up through the little scare zone that will be there. Then immediately the haunted house queue will be Ghostbusters. It'll probably be opening up first also. Stay and Scream people will probably be shoved right in there. So Ghostbusters sounds fun, and all sorts of stuff from the movie are promised. And we'll see all our friends. I don't know if we'll see the Ghostbusters themselves in person, but they're here with us now in Funko Pop form. Here is Dr. Peter Venkman, Dr. Ray Stantz, the heart of the Ghostbusters. Yes, and Egon Spengler, who of course was the brains of the Ghostbusters. That means Winston Zeddemore as the soul of the Ghostbusters, and Peter is basically the crotch. Yes, those are the more recent 35th anniversary Funko Pops. Even still, Winston is smaller than the others. The original ones they released a few years ago, Winston only came in Ecto-1, and he was a little bit smaller than the other Pops, because he was only sitting in Ecto-1. And I have other little friends here with me. Here, of course, I am the gatekeeper. Are you the Keymaster? I am the Keymaster. Are you the gatekeeper? Let's get these two together. I think that will be a very bad idea. Ah! Yes. My little friends Dana and Tully, wow, possessed by Zool and Vince Clortho. Here we go, yes. Vince Clortho talking about what form the Destructor may take, yes. In the rectification of the... what was it? I can't remember the exact words off the top of my head, but essentially... Many Shubs and Zools knew what it was to be roasted in the depths of the sewer that day, I tell you. Yes, indeed. I don't think he's human. Right. And we have here, of course, this fellow who will be in the house, probably through some sort of clever projection or puppetry, maybe both. And this little fellow we all know and love as Slimer, except that wasn't his name in the movie. In the movie, he wasn't given a name. No, the word Slimer was referenced briefly, but he also talked about a free-form floating vapor. I think that was one of his classification. Yes, and he's ectoplasmic goop. He slimed me, Ray. That's right. This is... it came to be known as Slimer from the animated cartoon series The Real Ghostbusters, which was called The Real Ghostbusters because there had been a Saturday morning live-action program way back in the 70s called Ghostbusters. It had nothing to do with this. And they had the rights to the Saturday morning animated show, and they made one right after Ghostbusters came out to capitalize on it because they still had that trademark for the cartoon. And that's why when they made a cartoon version of Ghostbusters, the real ones, they had to call it The Real Ghostbusters. Just like if you're on Twitter and you're the President of the United States, but someone else has already used your name on Twitter, so you have to call yourself the real Donald J. Trump. Although I don't think he's real. I don't think he's human. Right, exactly. Which is funny because that scene with Vince Clortho and the horse was right outside of the Plaza Hotel, which Trump bought and ruined a few years ago. God damn it. I think since he no longer owns it, they've made it better. But it's not what it used to be back in the day. Oh, I used to go to the Oak Room all the time. Such a delightful place. And then, of course, Zool, motherfucker! Zool! Some other fellow with glasses on the internet made that a catchphrase a few years ago in his movie reviews. Terror dog. Yes, but we must clear your mind. Because, of course, the Destructor, Gozer the Gozerian, Gozer the Distraveler. Incidentally, traveler. What's another word for traveler? Person who is a walker. Yeah. That's right. That's another word for some. If you travel on foot, yeah. So, Vogasildrahai. I think that was one of the names. Yes, what was his name? Ivo Schenker, who was a Gozerian society. And here, clear your mind, but no, it's too late. This is one of the biggest pops there is. The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, 10-inch pop. Enormous. Yes. He's a sailor. He's in New York. We get him late. It'll be all right. Oh, yes. Aim for the flat top. Oh, the wonderful lines that keep coming back. Don't cross the streams, which always comes up when I'm using a public urinal. Don't cross the streams, yes. That's right. This man has no dick. Oh, indeed. Wonderful, wonderful. I can't wait for this. I'm sure it's going to be delightful in the extreme. And quite silly and funny at the same time. And I'm looking forward to that. We'll probably have the scary scenes in the New York Public Library. Get her! Yes, wonderful. What was the other one? Of course, Dana's refrigerator. I don't know if they do that, but I'm sure we'll be in the Temple of Gozer on top of the building. And all sorts of wicked manifestations. And don't forget, there's a buttload of pooky ghosts in that. You think it's not scary. Slime is not scary. What about that freaking cab driver? That freaking cab driver was freaking scary. I remember. That actually made you jump when I first saw the movie back in 1984. And there were some other creepy creatures in that. Quite a lot of fun, actually. Oh, so I'm hyped, really hyped. But of course, I've always loved this movie. And at least for the past 35 years. And that's, more than half my lifetime. So I'm very, very pleased with this one. Looking forward to it immensely. So that is my reaction to the coming of Gozer and the Ghostbusters Haunted House in Orlando and the maze in Hollywood, which I understand will probably be pretty good too, but I bet there's a lot of, black curtains. Oh, I shouldn't be mean. I have some friends who say they want to make sure they go to Ghostbusters first house, first night. Not just because they're fans of the movie, but because they want to see everything the first night before the special effects break down by the end of the 41 nights of the event. Oh dear. But the way the storm is going, it might not be September 6th, but I'm hoping we're not going to have any trouble with that. So, that is this video. I still have a bunch more reaction videos to make. 9 more reaction videos to make on all the other announcements that have been made since July 17th. Next one of those will cover an announcement made on Thursday, 5 weeks ago, July 25th. And that would be 34 days ago. And I don't know if I'll get to that tonight, but that would be the announcement for the 7th haunted house in Orlando and the 6th haunted maze in Hollywood, which was also happens to be a 1980s comedy horror film. One that proved to be very delightful last year as a scare zone in Orlando. I'll get to that next for a reaction video, but not tonight. Probably tomorrow sometime, depending on my all the activities I'm going to be running around quite a bit tomorrow. From place to place, I've got a lot of errands to do. But hopefully I can get that video done sometime tomorrow. And tonight, it's already tonight, but later tonight, I hope to make the 6th cocktail video, the 6th house cocktail for Halloween Horror Nights 29, with, of course, the cocktail for Ghostbusters. Now that I got this done, I can do the cocktail video, and that'll be coming up soon. And hopefully it'll work nicely. I've got a rather despicable idea for a cocktail themed to Ghostbusters. I know what you're thinking. Something with a toasted marshmallow flavor. How about something that smells and tastes like a wet dog? Ooh. No. Something else. Well, sort of a dog. Soul! No, not that dog. Different sort of dog altogether. Don't want to give it away. Coming up shortly. Until then, hold on to your pants.